About goddamn time. Shit. My fucking web browser. Let me copy this link. Yo, yo, yo. We in here now. We in here. It's working. It's working. Let me just go ahead and do some yo, yo. Yo, can y'all hear me? What up, Clocksin? Hey, Clocksin, help me out, bro. Am I can y'all hear me good? Thank you. Yo, yo. How about now? That sound better? About to send that link out real quick, y'all, and then we about to get started. For some reason, it wasn't working with the web browser I was using, so I had to open up Google Chrome, and then it started working. YouTube wasn't allowing me to go live from that web browser. Okay. How do I post the link? Copy the link. Let me get this link together, y'all. This looked like a college class you about to go into. Hey, we about to get deep. We about to get deep. It was well worth the wait. And I'm ready too. Been working on this PowerPoint for a minute. There we go. Okay. Let me upload this to YouTube so we can get our or upload it to Instagram so we can get our Instagram people over here. Boom. Forget all of that hatred and let it go. God damn, this technology needs to be just a little bit smarter for me. I'm sorry. Okay, boom. All right, let me click on the link, test out the link right quick. What's the word, Keta? How you feeling, man? We about to turn up right quick. All right, I'm watching myself on my phone so I can get a good idea how everything looking. All right, I'm watching myself on my phone so I can get a good. Okay, bet we Gucci. We Gucci. The link working. Y'all say y'all ready? Okay, bet. Hold on. Let me turn on. Let me go live right quick on the ground. Boop boop. Man, it took me a minute to get all this shit activated, dog. A minute. Whoa, whoa, hold on, hold on. I know we could do all of that. Throw that John up for one time. Okay. All right, I'm throwing up the live now. All right, I'm pasting the link in the live and we about to get started. Click link and people. We live on YouTube right now. I'm about to do the water presentation. Make sure y'all can go click my story up here. It should be in the link. It's gonna say water presentation right now. Otherwise, y'all gonna get it secondhand. So we about to get active. All right, y'all. All right, let's get it. Okay, so let me go into my let me go into here. Boom. All right, clocks in. Is my screen flipped? Are the words backwards or are they facing forward? I'm waiting on some feedback to make sure the same. Okay, bet. All right, for sure. Let's get it. So first we're gonna start off. Let me get my notes up. What the fuck? What the fuck just happened? What just happened to my shit? Bruh. Fuck is my shit over here? Oh wow. Okay. There we go. I don't know why my shit just went into this side panel mode. Okay, there we go. Expand out. Okay, bet. All right, so what we're gonna be going over in this video or in this presentation, we're gonna be going over what water is actually made out of and some of its properties. We're gonna discuss some facts about water that you may not or may have known. We're gonna be discussing the fourth phase of water. We know that there are three phases: solid, liquid, and gas, but there's a fourth phase that people don't know about. After that, we're going to talk about the implications of the fourth phase of water and how it can be used for clean drinking water, removing bacteria, viruses, and using it um, and to remove things. We also going to discuss water's amazing transfer information like a USB thumb drive, and we're going to discuss transported through our municipal system and everything that it goes through. Okay. Okay. So, what is water? Water is a compound composed of two elements and oxygen. And I'm about to break this down for y'all in the simplest terms for anybody who really deep into chemistry or like chemistry. I'm breaking this down from the very root. So stick with me. By the time we get to the second presentation, everything will start making more sense. Or to the second slides. Okay. All right. So this is hold on. This is water on a molecular level. Okay. So what you see here is oxygen, oxygen atom, a hydrogen atom, and two oxygen atom and two hydrogen atoms. These are the atom is the fundamental unit of chemistry. This is low as you can go in basic chemistry. All right, and then we have elements. An element is the type of molecule or is the type of atom that it is. So you have the element oxygen. You got the element hydrogen. All right, and you have different types of elements. All right, a molecule two is two or more of the same or different combined. So this is a water molecule. We got oxygen and then we got hydrogen and then another hydrogen. Okay. Why H2O? Why H2O and not any other combination of elements? Okay, elements like to complete their valence shells, which is the outer electron shell of an atom. All right, so in atoms, you have protons, electrons, and neutrons. All right, so the protons and the neutrons are most important. The proton is what makes it the type of element that it is, and the electron is what connects the atoms to other atoms. All right, so when it comes to electrons, they create these shells. And if you see the shells, I don't know if y'all can see my mouse on YouTube, but if you see the O on the oxygen atom, you see there's a ring with two yellow dots on the rings. Okay. On the outer shell, there's six yellow dots. There's something called the octet rule. And the octet rule is that all of the all atoms like to have a complete circle of eight electrons in their outermost shell. Okay. Oxygen has six in its outermost shell. Hydrogen has one. Okay. So if you take oxygen with six electrons on the outer shell and two hydrogens with one electron. right? We get a total of 8. Okay, so oxygen naturally has 6 electrons in its valence shell, what makes it electronegative, meaning that the closer it is to completing that 8, the stronger attraction it has for breaking apart molecules. This is why oxygen is bleach, because bleach has a lot of oxygen in it and it can strip and break them apart. So, being that oxygen is electronegative and hydrogen is abundant in the universe, these two these two molecules naturally combine together a lot because of oxygen's electronegativity and abundance. Okay, so let's get to the next. I just wanted to break this down to y'all so that y'all understand on a molecular level what's going on. Y'all understand a little bit about protons, neutrons, electrons. This basic chemistry information y'all should know just to be able to apply in real life and understand how chemicals and stuff are actually working, to understand how food and stuff breaks down in your body. And in my melanin presentation on my website, I actually do like a little chemistry crash course. So I break down that a lot more. Okay. Let's go to the next slide. Boom. Let me check. Hold on. Okay, I'm just making sure everybody's still in here. Okay, bet. All right, so water water actually element that can exist in all three solid states under the conditions: solid, liquid, and gas. Now, water actually expands when it's in uh water actually state, which isn't normal. Most solid molecules condense. There's ice lighter than water. Okay. So if you look over here, this is this is what water looks like. You see how the molecules are all kind of condensed, and then in steam, it's spread out a little bit more, and then ice it expands even more. All right, that normally doesn't happen. Normally, when something is dense, the molecules are super close. This is how you get small objects that are heavier than bigger objects. That's because they're more dense. But ice actually expands, and the solid form of it is heavier than the liquid. I mean, it's lighter than the liquid, which is very important. And y'all gonna see why later. Okay, and this picture on the right that you see, this picture right here, damn, I'm pointing. I can't even tell which way I'm pointing, but this picture, I guess, right here, where you see this big red circle with the minus sign in it. All right, this is what water molecules look like. They aren't actually touching each other. They're they're connected to each other through electricity. They super close, but they're not actually touching. And you see how the oxygen, the gray with the plus sign, is it has a plus sign on it because, like I said, hydrogen is electropositive and oxygen is electronegative. Okay, boom. Okay, so now we're gonna go into some elemental facts. Okay, hydrogen is the most abundant element in the universe. Why? Because it only consists of one electron and one proton, so it is easily formed. Hydrogen makes up 75% of the universe. Every element starts off as hydrogen. Oxygen is the most abundant element on planet Earth, making up 47% of it. Oxygen is a highly reactive element due to its electronegativity, which is the ability of an element to gain an electron. Okay. Boom, we going back out. All right. Now we out of the deep chemistry part of it. We about to get more into some more fun stuff. Let me get back to the top. Boom. All right, let's go into the water facts. All right. There is the same amount of water on Earth as there was when the Earth was first formed. The water from your faucet could contain molecules that dinosaurs drank. Even though we know dinosaurs ain't real, it's just an example. Nearly 97% of the world's water is salty or otherwise undrinkable. Another 2% is locked in ice caps and glaciers. And this website, this is from the NASA website. So these are actual water facts. All right. So the anytime somebody talks about there being a water shortage, they full of shit because the same water that has been on the earth since it first started has been here today. So They have all the resources to create fresh water from salt water and contaminated water for a low cost, and I'm gonna show you that later. But this is a tactic of fear, and they do this because they know people make rash decisions when they're in a fearful and panic state. So if we tell people that we running out of clean water, we can get people to go buy a whole bunch of water, just like when they did with the jab situation. A whole bunch of people went out and bought food because they thought stuff was going down, and the stocks of big businesses were going up because of how many people were consuming during the time like that. Okay, boom. All right, water regulates the Earth's temperature. It also regulates the temperature of the human body, carries nutrients and oxygens to cells, cushions joints, protects organs and tissue, and removes waste. 75% of 75% of the human brain is water, and 75% of a living tree is water. So when we talk about water, we can see directly how water um in nature reflects water in our body. So just like how blood in our body keeps our temperature regulated. Majority of our blood is made out of water. The same way that blood keeps our temperature regulated, the water in the earth regulates the temperature of the earth. It also brings nutrients throughout the earth. It brings the sediments, the minerals to the lakes and to the soil in the same way that our blood delivers nutrients throughout the rest of our body. Okay. 96.5% of water on Earth is in our oceans, covering 71% of the surface of our planet. And at any given time, about 0.001% is floating above us in the atmosphere. If all that water fell at as rain at once, the whole planet would get about 1 inch of rain. Y'all, this listen, y'all, this presentation about to get so is about to get so deep. Like this is the baby steps. Like we just getting into the history of water. All right. All right, so look, this is the total global water. If you look over here, I believe it's over here. It's a chart, and my screen is flipped backwards. It's mirrored, so when I point this way, it's pointing that way. But if you look at this chart over here, it says total global water. All right, so 96% of our water is in the ocean. The another 2.5 of that 100% is fresh water, and then the other is salty water. Right? Okay, of that 2.5% of fresh water that we have, 68% of that is in glaciers and ice caps. The other 30% of that total is 30.1% in the ground. The the one per the 1.2% left is of fresh water. That's surface water. And you see this diagram, it comes over here and it expands out. All right, so you got of that surface water is ground ice and permafrost. Then the other 20% is lakes, and then you got water that's let me see, I can see it. That's 2.6% in swamps, marshes, rivers, and living things. Okay, boom, we on to the next. All right, the rocky material that formed Earth contains some water, but that probably doesn't account for all the water we see today. Comets are mostly water ice. It's possible that comets made regular water deliveries to Earth. It would take a lot of comets to fill the ocean, but comets could well have made a big contribution. Now, this is crazy because we're gonna talk about water memory later. So, I believe that some of the water from the comets may contain certain information and certain vibrations from different planets and different galaxies and all type of shit. All right, that's just a theory of mine. Usually when solids forms, atoms get closer together to form something denser. This is why most solids sink in water, but solid water or ice is actually less dense. This is unusual. The water molecules form rings when water freezes. All that space makes ice less dense. This is why it floats. This is great because ice floating on top of a body of water lets the rest of it stay liquid. If ice sank, the whole ocean could freeze solid. Now that's crazy. It's like the universe perfectly designed water with this structure because even if water was dense and it was floating to the bottom of the ocean, our entire oceans would be freezing. So that just go to show you how nature is perfectly in divine order. Okay, our bodies are mostly water. A newborn baby is 78% water. Adults are 55 to 60% water. Water is involved in just about everything in our body. It's a big part of the blood that brings nutrients to all our cells. We use it to get rid of waste. It helps us regulate our body temperature. It acts as a shock absorber for our brain and spinal cord. We are very dependent on water. All right, and here's a diagram showing you the amount of water that's in your body based on volume. And the reason that I say volume is because it's actually more water than your body is more than 70% water, but in terms of volume, it's 70%. But we're gonna get into that later. So as we age, the volume decreases, which makes sense because we get bigger. All right. And let me just check on the YouTube comments. Hold on. Okay, bet everybody in YouTube, we good, we good. Everything sounds smooth. Okay, bet. Okay. In volume, you are 70% water, but molecularly, you are 99% water. All right. The reason why you're 99% water and not 70% water is because if we're talking about volume, so for example, if we put some water into a cup, that's the volume, all right? But if we talk about in forms of molecules, you will see 99 water molecules in a row before you see one molecule of anything else in your body. So if we was looking at your body, we would see water molecule, water molecule, water molecule, water molecule, and then at the hundredth one, we'd see like salt molecule. Then it'd be another 99 water molecule. It's just water molecules are so small. Because water molecules are so small, it doesn't seem like it's taking up 99%. But the fact that there's so many molecules in our body is actually made out of 99% water. Okay, a person can live a month without food, but only about a week without water, and they probably could live longer on water than longer than a month with just water. And I had to put that SpongeBob picture up there because y'all know that nigga was dying of water. That nigga needed water. All right. Water is part of a deeply interconnected system. What we pour on the ground ends up in our water, and we spew it into the sky, and it ends up in our water. Okay, boom. All right, now we back. Now we enter in the fourth phase of water, y'all. This where it's about to get deep. This shit about to blow your mind. All right. So the fourth phase of water. So we've always known that there are three phases of water, which is vapor, liquid, and solid, right? But there was a fourth phase of water. About 100 years ago, the fourth phase of water was rediscovered. And I say rediscovered because we know it ain't nothing new under the sun, and that Egyptians and that, our people been using this technology years and years ago. So any technology is rediscovered technology. All right. But it was rediscovered by the man Sir William Hardy. I'll give him his credit. And it had a gel-like substance. All right. When you look at atoms or molecules by themselves, they behave differently than when you look at them in a group. All right. So boom, we on to the next one. All right, so that fourth phase is called easy water, aka exclusion zone water, aka structure water, or aka H302 water. These are different names to express the same thing. All right, and I'm gonna tell you why later it's called exclusion zone water. Okay, so when you put when you put a hydrophilic substance next to water, and hydrophilic means water loving, put a hydrophilic substance, a water loving substance, next to water, such as gel, which you see in this picture, the water begins to separate negatively charged molecules from positively charged molecules, creating what is called easy water. And the easy water is negatively charged, and the bulk water is positively charged, which contains the solid materials. So this is the gel, this is the hydrophilic, aka water loving substance, right? This is the water, and this is the EZ water, right? This is the bulk water. So what's happening is that you put something that is attracted to water inside of a container next to water, and what happens is the water begins to split itself into positive and negative charges, right? Like a battery almost, positive and negative charges. And the distance between the bulk water and the bulk water and the easy water is 10 And 10 molecularly is basically infinite. So this space that you see in between here on a molecular level is infinite, but in actual size, that's about the size of your hair. All right. So boom, we on to the next one. Okay. In exclusion zone, the size roughly of the width of your hair is created when a hydrophilic substance is in contact with water on a molecular level. I don't know if this video is gonna play. I'm not even about to play that video. But what happens is we'll watch it. I don't know if it's upside down or not, but it is on here. The bulk water, you'll start to see it push away from the exclusion zone. Give it a second. Okay, boom. That's what happens. This is what it looked like. This is a real video of the water pushing away the particles in the bulk water. So you put something that likes water next to it, and it'll separate between negatively and positively charged. All right. And I'll explain why that's important later. But just remember that the water is split between negative and positive. All right. So this is a better picture. Okay. So what you see here, you got this material. Okay. Let me turn back on this screen. You got this material where it says material. That's the water loving substance. Then you got these EZ layers, which is the EZ water. All right. The layers, they slowly start stacking onto each other in a hexagonal shape. So the way that the water begins to form is almost like in sheets. So the easy water forms in sheets. And if you shine thermal light on it, the layers begin to build. Then I'm gonna show y'all about the thermal light a little bit on. But if you look at this picture to the right, you see the material, you see the easy water, and then you see the bulk water. The easy water is the negatively charged. Okay. And then you see those little hexagonal shapes that it's creating. That's the H302. Okay. So boom, the layers started to build, they started to build, and they create like these little webs. All right. So the zone is not actually H2O, but it's 302, and it looks similar to ice. This is H302 structured jelly water. So this easy water is made up of H302. When the water splits itself, the easy water forms H302. Okay. So when the water splits itself, it's turning into this hexagonal shape. You see these orange circles, and then in between are the gray ones. Those are the hydrogen. These are the oxygen. So H2O would just be H2O would just be like this. This is oxygen, and then this is the other two hydrogen atoms. But if you look at this picture, it completes the circle with the other hydrogen. So basically what it means is that this structure is more stable. H3O2 is more stable structure than H2O. All right, so this is the reason why it's able to separate the negative and positive charges. Okay, boom. We on to the next. So this is what it looks like. So what is going on in this is the molecules in the water rearrange themselves into H3O2, creating a zone of negative charge, excluding the other molecules in the water, creating a positive zone. So now we have potential energy because this is what a battery look like, right? You got one negative side and you got a positive side. Now this is just with water, y'all. This is just with water and something that likes water. If you put inner next to something that likes water, we get this potential for energy. All right. Boom. Hold on. Next slide. All right. The same thing happens if you put something in the center of the water. Don't necessarily got to be directly to the side. What happens is we can even drop a droplet of water inside of the water, and the water will form a easy shell around it. Okay. So as long as it's a water loving substance, it'll form a shell around it. So boom. Now what happens is because normally like repels like and opposites attract. But because there's so many other positive water molecules around, the positive gets in between the negative, and the negative starts pulling towards each other. So they create almost like this grid. It's called a colloidal structure. All right. It creates like a magnetic web. Now, that explains this phenomena. This is the same thing that's going on when clouds are forming. All right. What's happening is the clouds is water droplets that have EZ shells are being attracted to the positive force of the clouds, and the clouds begin to form. All right. So you got little aerosol droplets falling out of the sky. Could be just water, and the water is getting suspended into this cloud of positive energy. And this is how clouds are floating in the air. All right. Um, the lizard that can run on water. If you ever seen they call it the Jesus lizard. The Jesus lizard runs on water. All right, they say it's because of surface tension. It's not because of surface tension. It's this layer of EZ water that's connected that looks like this. It looks like this bottom right picture. All right, it's basically like a layer of negative water. Okay. This is the same phenomena that's going on. If you look to the right, next to the cloud picture, you see somebody dropping some water on top of the water. And sometimes this happens. You can drop water droplets on top of water, and it'll sit there for a couple of tens of seconds sometimes before it even dissolves into the water. That's because it takes a lot of energy to break down that easy shell of electrically charged negativity before it goes into the water. All right, so if you look at the picture below that, you see a beaker on each side, and the water is stuck. Like, that water shouldn't even be able to hold on like that. But what's happening is they have a needle, they have an electrode inside of one water, they have another electrode inside the other water, and they send in electricity through the water. And the EZ shell is being created on the outside of the water, which is allowing it to create a bridge. Let me go back to this video real quick. Let me go back to this video real quick so I can show you exactly what I'm talking about. Mm, this video. There it is. Okay. Boom. Check this out. Damn. Okay. YouTube can't be played. Okay. It's not allowing me to play it for copyright reasons, but basically they start pulling the beakers apart, and the bridge of water starts to increase. Okay. All right. Let me go back. Hold on. Okay. Boo, 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 boo. Where was we at? Easy water. Boom. Boom. Okay. Here we was. Bet. Okay. So yeah, this is basically explaining. This right here is explaining these phenomena that's going on here. All right, so we back out. Boom. All right, let's get to water energy. Okay. So there is free water energy. Being that we can separate the negative charge and the positive charge of water, we can create it and use it like a fucking battery. All right. And it's this fucking simple. This is this fucking simple. Thank you. I appreciate that, Anthony Raby. Okay, so we can put water into a container and separate it, right? The negative charge and the positive charge. All right, so how do we charge the battery though? Right? We charge the battery with thermal heat, thermal light. Literal sunlight will charge the battery. So all water is charged by the sun. All water is already a battery. All right, the water is charged by light, most effectively thermal light or infrared light, which is produced by almost everything. Okay. Now remember, your body is 99% water. This is the energy your body is using to do biological functions. It is drawing this energy from thermal heat and creating EZ water. Everything is giving off heat. Your chair, your couch, your bed, everything around you and in nature is producing thermal heat. Your body is literally able to charge itself up from the sun. All right. So water itself is already a battery in nature. It's already drawing energy from the sun. It has so much potential. Now, if you look at this picture right here, right, this is somebody shining a light onto the water. They shining light onto the water. You see this gray area that's lighter than the darker area. When they shine the light on it, they actually did it by accident. They shine the light on the water, and the exclusion zone began to build. So we can create a stronger negative charge just by shining light onto the water. So literally with light and water, you can create a battery. That's fucking crazy. I don't think y'all really understand what I'm saying. Like, with light and water, you can create a battery. Okay. So let's see. Zoom back out of that right quick. All right. Go back. We ain't about to miss that. Okay. Also, too, that's why the sauna is so important, right? You naturally going in there. Remember, your body is made out of 99% water, and those cells are made of H302. So the same four phase water. is what your cells are made of. Your cells aren't made of H2O, they made out of H302, and we're gonna get into that later. But that's why being in the sauna is everything because you absorbing this thermal heat that's creating easy electricity in your body. And your body is using that easy electricity to carry out biological functions in your body. So literally just by being in the sun, just by being in the sauna, you charging up heat. Everything is giving up heat. You constantly drawing in energy from around you. Whether you out in nature, whether you out in the sun, you always, whether you in the ocean, this is why you constantly are gaining energy when you in nature. That's why you got to be in alignment with nature at all times. All right, boom. Okay. All right. If you think about plants, you know that the energy comes from the sun, right? The plant converts the sun's photonic energy into chemical energy, which allows the process of the plant, which allows the processes of the plant, which makes sense because plants normally range between 80 to 95% water. This is the same thing that is happening with the water. All right. This same thing that's happening with the water. It is absorbing thermal energy and storing this energy as potential energy, aka easy water. So in the same way that a plant absorbs sunlight and uses that photonic energy and converts it to chemical energy to do things such as make more leaves, make the plant taller, make the roots bigger, is the same way that your water holds information and is charged by the sun. Your water does the same thing. It takes that photonic energy, stores it as instead of chemical energy like the plant, but potential energy that could eventually be used and stores it within the EZ of the water. Right? That's crazy. Okay. Boom. Out of this. Okay, so here's a picture. Orange things are symbolizing heat that's onto the water. Okay. This is what heat increases. The EZ starts to expand. All right. Okay, bet. I just had to check on you. Okay, boom. We zoom out right quick. All right. Okay, so this is a microscopic image of what water looks like when pushing out contaminants and contaminated water. So remember, I told y'all that in that one picture, this one right here, how it grabs the contaminants out of the water, or how it separates anything that is hydrophilic. Hold on. Okay. So this is a picture of a hydrophilic material, right? So they put contaminants in the water. The water separated the contaminants from the actual water. So this is the easy water, this is the contaminated water, right? This could be a virus, this could be bacteria, this could be whatever you wanted. It got pushed out. All right, which makes sense because things like viruses are hydrophobic, which mean they don't like water. So they get pushed away. It's almost like it was perfectly designed like this, which it was. All the excluded stuff. All right, and this is the easy water in this black area. This white area to the right is the bulk water with all the contaminated stuff in it. Okay. Water and energy are literally inseparable. Water is an energy repository. This is why it's important to get your water from nature so you can spiritually absorb nature. Water is picking up all this information while it's traveling. You know what I'm saying? You need to have this. It's constantly holding all of this energy, and we're gonna get into that later. All right, salt water. Salt water is also excluded from the water. So if there's salty water from our oceans, the salt is a metal, right? It pushes out the metal and creates negatively charged water. So it's possible to use this method to extract clean drinking water from salt water, oceans, and lakes, which has already been done, just on a small scale. All right. The people who found out this information, they are working on it now. But you know how that goes with when it comes to funding, because water companies hear shit like this and they don't want to hear that. All right. So cells are full of macromolecules. Remember before, a molecule is just one or more element or two or more elements. So a macromolecule is just a bigger molecule. All right. Cells are full of macromolecules, proteins, and nucleic acids, right? Nucleic acids are the building blocks of life. That's what your DNA is made out of. Those are the lowest building blocks for our human DNA. So, our cells are full of macromolecules, proteins, and nucleic acids. And these proteins are surrounded by easy water. This easy water causes a separation of charge, like we seen before with the battery, how it separated the positive and the negative. This easy water causes a separation of charge, which drives reactions in the body. The easy water is created by the thermal heat your body absorbs from your environment. It is a form of photosynthesis. Okay, so even in your body, these are your cells. Remember how I said your cells is made out of 99% water, and that water is H302. This is the H302 in your body. Is creating EZ shells around your proteins, around your nucleic acids, and see, okay, this is a cell. And for y'all don't know what a cell is, it's basically something in your body that has a job. It produces a function. And inside of those cells are smaller cells. And basically, just like how our body is made of smaller things and those things are made of smaller things, your cells are made of smaller things, which are proteins, nucleic acids, and whatever else I name, macromolecules. Okay. It creates this easy shell around it, right? This electrical energy, this potential teams use that potential energy to do their functions, right? It might need to create some more energy. It might need to use that energy to charge up. It may, whatever it's doing, your body is using this energy. So it's important to be around, be in that sauna. It's important to be in the sun because your body is constantly drawing that thermal heat and using it to perform biological processes in your body. This is why they want your ass inside all day. This is why they want being out in the sun. This is why they putting chemtrails up to block the sun because we are literally human batteries charging up from our environment. Okay. It's about to get deeper. um okay, boom. All right, so now they did an experiment. The experiment was done by putting a hollow tube inside of water. All right. They put, and I see y'all on Instagram. We turning up, y'all. Y'all tuned in. I appreciate the love. I appreciate the support. Share this with somebody. Send this to somebody real quick. But so they did an experiment where they put a hollow tube inside of water, right? They put some contaminants inside of the water because, like I said, water molecules are small. So when it's happening, they put metals or they put some type of thing that's bigger so they could see if it's flow, right? So this is what they did. They put a hollow tube inside of some water. They put metal in there, and what happened was, they shined the light. They had the light shining on it too. What happened was the light shining easy water was creating a constant flow of water. So the water, the contaminants kept flowing through the tube the entire time. They did this, it was doing this for over 24 hours. All right, so why is that important? Why is it important that easy water and light can drive flow, endless flow? Because your blood, all right. This is a red. Okay, you see this bottom right corner with the black background, the picture of the bottom right corner? It looks like a hamburger patty. That is your red blood cell. Okay, that's what a red blood cell looks like. When you see it at the top, this picture where it says axial on, edge on, right here, this is what it looks like. It's kind of an example of what your blood cells have to do in order to squeeze through your veins, because oftentimes your capillaries are, and these are your capillaries right here. So this is your artery, right? I believe arteries draw blood to the heart and veins draw blood away from the heart, or it's vice versa. All right, and your capillaries are the little veins basically in between the artery and the what you call it. So when your blood is flowing through there, they squeezing through there like this, right? How the fuck is our body able? And here's a picture to the left of a better example of it going through our veins. You see how it's getting morphed up. The capillaries are often half the size of the actual blood vessel. So how is the blood vessel managing, or how is the blood cell managing to get through the vein not just off the it's not our heart that's doing all of that pumping. That shit would cause you to have a fucking heart attack. It's the EZ that's shelled around it that's helping is pushing this flow. The same thing that's happening here, right? It's happening in your blood. So it's allowing your blood to flow. This is how important the water is. So the energy surrounding us is being used to drive biological processes in our body. Okay, boom. All right. So how can we use this? How can we use easy water? Well, one, we know that we can use easy water to create a battery. All right, so we can separate negative and positive charge to create a battery. Two, we can use it to create clean drinking water. We can separate bacteria, contaminants, all type of shit out of our water. Um, and we can use it for biological processes and healing. All right, so this easy water is very important. Okay, and another thing too is how do you gain easy water? Well, look, fruit is actually made of H302. Now, it makes sense because one, fruit is mostly 80% fruits and vegetables are mostly 80% plus water. All right. And they're growing outside in the sun. So they drawing in all the best thermal heat that they possibly can have. Not only that, the fruit has the amino acids in it. It's got the alkalinity in it, and it's already H302. See, when H2O goes through your body, it doesn't absorb right away. Your body has to convert it into H302 before your body can actually absorb it. So, because that's what your cells are made out of. Your cells are all made out of H3O2. So your body actually has to convert H2O into H3O2 before it's actually even used. So if your water is already in H3O2 form, it doesn't even have to go through the digestion process. It gets absorbed straight into your cells because it's already in that complete hexagonal structure, right? H2O is just oxygen and then two hydrogen, right? So them hydrogens can snatch off easily and get attached to another element in your body, right? Those are what free radicals are. So when they talk about this eliminates free radicals, they talking about hydrogen. Hydrogen is free radicals because it'll easily join with anything. But when it's in that H3O2 structure, it's locked. It's like a grid. It's not breaking. It's those easy layers that can't be penetrated. So getting your water from fruit is the best way to get your water. All right, boom, we back out. All right, y'all. So we just hit water energy. Now we on water memory. Now it's about to get even deeper. Y'all thought the water energy was deep. Y'all ain't ready. All right. So look, water memory. Water has the ability to hold and store information, y'all. Literally, water has the ability to hold and store information. Okay, boom. All right, water memory part two. The experiment I'm about to show y'all involves detecting electronic signals from DNA. Okay. So now they did an experiment. So I'm gonna be this experiment that they do, they kind of do the same process over a couple times. So don't get confused. Pay attention to the first process, and the rest of the process will make sense. They just have slightly different, uh, slightly different processes. Okay, so boom, top left corner, we got HIV. They took a HIV infected DNA, right? Put it into water. The vibrations of the infected DNA is stored and recorded into the water. All right, boom. Now they take the water. Okay, this is the theory that they propose. They propose that water could store the frequency of certain things, right? So they put HIV infected DNA into water, right? The water absorbs the frequencies, right? It absorbs the frequencies. Hold on. The vibrations from the HIV infected water are recorded by a microphone that is designed for the beaker to sit on. So they took this beaker, set it on top of the microphone with the DNA, and then they recorded the vibration that was coming from the water onto a microphone, uploaded it to a computer like an audio file, sent it across the country, sent the audio file across the country. They play the computer file onto a speaker for they played onto a speaker, and there's a on top of the speaker is another beaker like this, and they have an uninfected piece of DNA and that uninfected piece of DNA becomes infected with the HIV virus. So let me run that shit back real quick. They take HIV infected DNA, put it into some water, set it on top of a speaker, record it, upload it to a computer like a song, send an MP3 over to another country. They play that sound for another piece of DNA that don't have HIV inside of the water, and the DNA becomes infected with the HIV through the vibration of the water. This is called DNA transduction. Transduction is the process by which DNA is transferred from one bacterium to another by the way of a virus. All right. So they're using the bacteria, they're using the virus as the car to transport it to another bacteria, right? Transduction does not require physical contact between the cell donating the DNA and the cell receiving the DNA. All right. Boom. We on to the next one. Okay. Step two. Now the newly infected HIV transferred to the bacterium. All right. They put that inside of some water now. So the HIV that didn't have, or the bacteria that didn't have the HIV at first, it now has HIV. They take that, put it into some water, right? So now they take that cup of water with the HIV, they pour it, a little bit of it, into another cup, take another cup that's full of regular water, and fill it up. So they take 1 cup, 1/10 of HIV infected virus, 1/10, put that in a cup, then they pour 9/10 of regular water in that, right? Now we got this new one. They take 1/10 of that, pour some more water in there, boom. So each time the the uh the water is becoming more and more diluted, right? Because we started off with fully HIV water, put a little bit in there, mixed it with a lot of water, take a little bit of that, boom, keep doing that process over. And in between that process, they spinning it super fast. And the point they're doing this is they're trying to break up all the HIV molecules. They're trying to see that if the water is holding the memory still, even after diluting it and breaking it down so many times. So they do this process 24 times. They they pour the water 1/10 of it, fill it up with water, 1/10 of that, fill it up with water. They do this 24 times and they keep repeating the cycle. When the cycle is complete, not a single molecule of HIV is left in the water. This would be the equivalent of taking the original 1/10 of bacteria water and pouring it into the ocean. That's how much they have diluted it at this point. All right. So now what we left with is basically just a glass of water that once had HIV particles in it. It no longer has HIV in it. All right. So now we got this empty cup of water. They take this water, they record the vibration of the water, play it onto a computer, they look at the audio file, right? And they compare it to HIV. Do you know that this water was giving off the same vibration as HIV? This water didn't have nothing. They diluted it 24 times. Remember, the original HIV was actual DNA. Let's go back to the top real quick. We need to go back to the top. The original one had HIV. The original DNA had HIV in it. They recorded the vibration, put it on the computer, played that vibration for an uninfected DNA, right? And then they took that uninfected DNA is now infected. Boom. They put it in the water, diluted it a bunch of times. Now we're just at a glass of water, right? The water is still carrying the vibration of the HIV, even though the HIV is not in that bitch. That's fucking nuts, y'all. Y'all don't understand that this water still has the HIV in it, even though there's no HIV in it. All right, boom. So now they take the audio file from the HIV, right? They play the sound on the speaker for some purified water. Now this is the audio file from the water that just had the vibrations. This is the audio file from the super diluted water. Not they the re and this is why I said this is gonna kind of get confusing because they keep redoing the process over because they're trying to prove the point that we've diluted this motherfucking water so many goddamn times. There's no way that it should still be HIV in this water. Boom. So now they took the HIV, they took the HIV audio file of what the water. Fuck. They took the water that had the HIV vibrations in it, recorded it, put it on a USB, and played it for some water that hasn't had no contact with HIV at all. They just played the vibration of the HIV for a new cup of water, right? The water listens to the signals and memorizes them bitches. Hold on. Let's keep it going. All right. So now what they about to do is this. Now they about to see if they can reform, HIV in the water based off of the memory. So I got to explain this to y'all. So what they doing is called a PCR test. All right, so the PCR test won a Nobel Prize in the 90s, and it's what our government uses in forensics to identify criminals. They use this to rebuild damaged DNA or small amounts of DNA that they suspect in the subject. So basically, when they do a crime investigation, right, and they find some DNA, this is how they match it to the person. This same process that I'm talking about, right? This is what they do. All right, so PCR test is performed. A PCR test consists of taking a damaged piece of DNA, like a piece of skin or something, inserting it into water with nucleotides, which are the building blocks of life. So remember when I was talking about proteins and amino acids, right? Nucleotides are basically okay, you see these DNAs, the DNA strand right here, those little bars that's in between the spiraling DNA. Let's just say those are nucleotides, right? They take those, put it into some water with the DNA. This is what the FBI does. They take a little damaged piece of DNA, put the building blocks of life in there, right? And then they put something in there called uh polymerase, right? Which is a worker enzyme. The polymerase is a worker. Think of the polymerase as a worker. Think of the nucleotides as the tools, and think of the DNA, the damaged piece of DNA, as something that he's fixing, right? So the polymerase splits the DNA in half and rebuilds each side, creating a new strand of copy of DNA and a copy. So basically, if you put a damaged piece of DNA inside of some water, we throw some chemicals in there, right? That the DNA is made out of, and we put polymerase in there, the worker will rebuild the DNA because it'll reform the DNA. It'll literally split it back in half and rebuild it back together as if it was your normal DNA. So now they can it's crazy how this shit happens. It literally rebuilds your DNA back to what it was. So now they can make a match and say that that was you. That's how crazy this shit is. Now look, hold on. Okay, look, they redid this experiment, but instead of putting damaged DNA in the water, they just use water. So before the worker, this little dude right here, he had he had something to build off of, right? They redid this experiment and didn't put no DNA in there. So it was just the tools and the worker. That this is the equivalent to trying to make a copy without the original, right? You got to have the original to make a copy from. The water, there's nothing in the water, right? So they took the HIV water, right? They put the nucleotides inside the water, and the worker enzyme built the HIV DNA back together. The HIV water built itself back together. The worker enzyme rebuilt the HIV DNA in the water with just these nucleotides. It didn't even have the HIV in there. Nigga, that's crazy. That's crazy. All right. They sent the results back to compare with the original DNA, and the test results were a 98% match. All right. And the 2% that was off, me personally, I believe that was due to I believe that that was due to the equipment and the circumstances of them not really knowing everything that they doing. Might have to do with the type of water that they had, the the form of tools that they were using. But a 98% match is goddamn accurate for some water that didn't have anything in it, and it's basically just off the vibrations. Okay, so let me get back. Boom. All right, how does the water store memory? All right, on the left side is a single water molecule, what a single water molecule looks like, right? So you got oxygen, two hydrogens. On the right side is an artistic representation similar to what coherent domain is. Okay, so coherent domain, when molecules are by themselves, right, they look like this. Okay, Now, when they form together, they create this little ring right here. They create this ring. Okay. uh and they trap the signal inside of the ring of the molecule, so it creates an electrical signal, so no matter can penetrate this ring of molecules. Now it's millions of fucking water molecules in a cup of water because they so small, you feel me? So all these millions of water molecules are trapping this signal, and the only thing that can enter and leave out of this signal or out of this thing is electricity. Only thing that can enter or that can break through these electro excuse me, the only thing that can break through these water molecules is electrical signals. Okay. Boom. So that's how the water that's how the information gets trapped. Okay. Okay. So now they did a heart experiment, right? This is even more crazy. So first thing they did was they took a guinea pig and they removed the heart from the guinea pig. Some fucked up ass shit, I know. They genetically modified the heart to be allergic to egg whites. All right. Yes, they have the ability to do that type of shit. They played the frequency of the egg. Okay, so they took the egg or they took the heart, made it genetically modified it to make it allergic to egg whites. Right? They recorded the frequency of the egg white the same way they recorded the water frequency, the HIV water, right? And they played the frequency of the egg next to the heart, and it caused the heart to go into an allergic shock. So they took the frequency of an egg white, they recorded an egg white, took it next to a sophisticated ass microphone, recorded the vibrations of the egg white, played that sound, and they had the heart hooked up to like a little machine so that it would beat. It was just the heart itself. It was beating. They put the speaker next to the heart. The heart started beating super fast because it was going into an allergic shock, and they measuring all of this on the computer. Okay, boom. All right. The heart is the heart is unable to make the distinction between actual egg white and the digital signal in the egg white. In a similar way that you cannot distinguish the difference between someone singing in person or on a speaker. All right, so obviously we can kind of distinguish when something's coming from a speaker because of the actual sound, but it's similar. You get what I'm saying? Like you can hear sometimes you might hear something coming from the TV and thought somebody was actually in your house because of how similar the signal sounds. But this all makes sense because we're all made out of vibrations. So an allergic reaction is just a vibration. It's just a frequency. Being allergic to something is just resonating with that same frequency in a sense. All right. Hold on, I can't see this. Okay, boom. Okay, so what are the implications of this? What does this mean? Okay, ocean water contains all the information that ever existed on this planet. And with the right equipment, I feel like memories, stories, and so forth can be accessed not only ocean water, but the water in our body as well. So when they talk about the Akashic records, when they talk about the Akashic records, I think that is literally through water that they achieved this. You know what I'm saying? Like on a whole nother level, I'm getting off into my own ideas. This is what I formulated. Anytime you watch a movie where like X-Men or what was that, Stranger Things, and yeah, Stranger Things. When they had to access the little girl memory, they put her in a water chamber. And before I even learned about this, I was like, it's something that has to do with water and memory. For some reason, the water has to do with memory. So anytime you see them doing something where they have to access a memory or do something, they always submerge them in some type of water. And I think that that has something to do with it. And being that the same water that has been on this earth has been here since the start of time, that means that the water contains all the energy of the earth from everything ever existed. It contains all the knowledge because at some point, the same cup of water that you drinking, not to freak you out, but was probably in somebody's brain at some point because we constantly are a recycling system. So, everything that has ever happened exists within our water. That's why I feel like our oceans are so powerful and why we have these energies we draw towards natural things like that and being in water and just enjoying nature itself. Hold on. Okay. Do certain water emit certain frequencies that activate a certain DNA? All right. So do certain waters, like in certain mountains and certain springs, these questions that I'm asking, do they have, are they vibrating at a certain way? Are these waters more preserved and in tune and haven't went through so many process to where they're, in a most normal state? And can we access some type of can we unlock our DNA through this pure spiritual water? All right. So another thing is, um, this is probably the biggest thing. The medical field will be revolutionized as patients will be treated through vibrations and signals. Pharmaceuticals such as Advil, Tylenol will soon be nothing but the labels on the sides of water bottles. Why do I say this? Because that means if we can put HIV infected DNA into water and the water the is able to hold the frequencies, how long, well, I ain't gonna say how long because I already know it's possible, but and I know that they're not gonna allow this because they're gonna lose too much money. But how long before, we able to put an Advil into water, right? It absorbs the frequency of the Advil, right? And then you take that, save that audio file, and just play it for your water. And then you drink the water, and now the water has that frequency in it, right? This is where the technology is already at. This shit was discovered 100 years ago, y'all. I just told y'all they took the vibrations of egg white and played it over a heart, and the heart had allergic reaction to it and couldn't tell the difference if it was actual egg white or just a frequency. So what makes you think that your body is going to be able to tell the difference between the vibration of an Advil versus the actual thing? Science, the medical field will revolutionize with this type of shit. Medicine will practically be free. You feel me? And with this type of information, to be honest, we don't even need that type of shit. Like, we don't need medicine and all of that, anything, but just, we just going just to show y'all. Your body is made of 99% water, making it very easy for the coherent domains of other water molecules to resonate with yours and transfer over that frequency. How many laboratories, this is what I want to know, how many laboratories are there where they have healing chambers that literally heal the body based off of signals alone, right? Because we can match frequency. If we can find what frequency it is, we can destroy that frequency. There's something called resonant frequency, right? So here's an example of that. You ever heard somebody sing, and then they sing and that pitch reaches a certain pitch and then it cracks the glass? That's called resonant frequency. What's happening is the person is singing at such a high vibration that the tone that they singing at is matching the vibration of the glass. And if I send a vibration that's the same vibration at that glass, it causes it, and I raise the amplitude, it causes those atoms to break. So if we can figure out the frequency of something through resonant frequency, we can destroy the molecule in the same way that a singer sings and reaches that same frequency and cracks a glass. Okay, so if we know that certain viruses and certain chronic diseases resonate at a certain frequency, we can beam those frequencies at people and eliminate those diseases. And they're doing this, they're discovering, uh they're using the same water technique with the HIV to discover what diseases patients actually have now. And if they dilute it and they still see the vibration, they know that it's a chronic disease. And they've done it with Alzheimer's, they've done it with autism in kids, and they've actually reversed it with these medicines, or with these processes. Okay. What are they putting in our water that is preventing us from seeing or experiencing certain things? All right. This will completely eliminate the pharmaceutical energy industry, because there will only need to be one pill made to create essentially millions worth of beneficial effects. And so many industries surrounding the industry, CVS, Rite Aid, is not going for that shit. Okay, boom. We back out. All right, y'all. We halfway through. We really over halfway through. So we almost finished. We got three left. Okay, bet. Okay. Okay, water starts off in nature. All right, now we on how water is transported. So now we about to go through the systems of how your water gets transported, what's happening before it actually reaches your house. All right. Water starts off in nature. Naturally, it is a sticky substance. During this time in nature, this is where it picks up all of its minerals and the spirit of Mother Nature. Okay, I will go so far as to say while water is in nature, it is picking up all of the vibrations of the earth, putting you uh it's picking up all of the vibrations of the Mother Earth, putting you in tune with Mother Nature, allowing you to sense negative energies, earthquakes, other transitions the Earth is going through, and so forth and so on. I think this is also part of the reason why, I know that birds they can sense magnetic fields and stuff, but I think that them being so in tune with nature, being that they always out in tune in the wild, drinking from the lakes, drinking from the springs, they're gathering this information as well. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like if we were in tune, we would be able more to sense even motherfuckers walking through the woods. If we live in a certain area and we got a tribe, one of the people in our tribe might be like, I'm picking up a bad energy because their feet is always touching the soils of the earth, which has water in it. They always drinking from the springs, which has water in it. The fruit that come directly from the trees has water. You constantly in tune with the earth. This is the same shit that's going on in Avatar. In the first Avatar movie, when they said that the ground wasn't, they literally in tune. They know because you absorbing energy through the earth. When the earth's magnetic fields shifts, your body senses that. You might not be in tune, but your body is undergoing certain changes. So I believe that the water and earth carries all of this information. Why wouldn't it? Okay, bet. Hold on. Let me check out. Okay, bet. We still good in the live chat. We still good in the live chat. Boom. Say less. Say less. All right, y'all. Okay. Is water transported? Once water is t- Once water is taken from nature, it is carried in a container, shipment, tank cars, tank trucks, and tank ships. Mind you, water is a sticky substance and is grabbing onto all of these contact with. So now your water then came from nature, right? We know water is sticky. We know water is sticky. They putting it in shit like this. What the fuck, right? Ain't no telling when the last time that motherfucker was clean. You know what I'm saying? So, boom. Now the water is being subjected to this. Water is holding the memory. It might be holding fucking conversations that was in that air. You don't know what's going on. Water is strong. And see if I had said this before I explained this to y'all a minute ago, y'all would probably thought I was crazy. But now that y'all see the science, and which is why I had to break down the science to the molecular level, because when you hear somebody saying they talk to their water to give it life, you're not gonna think twice about it because you know it's an actual science behind it. It's not magic. This is some real shit that's going on. It's been proven. All right. So they putting your water in shit like this. You know what I'm saying? Shit like this. You feel me? Shit like this. Just completely in alignment with nature. You know what I'm saying? All right. Hold on. Let me go back. I think I missed something. Okay. Boom. I ain't missed nothing. Okay. So hold on. Hold on. My live just froze, y'all. My live just froze. Let me turn off my Wi-Fi right quick. Boom. My bad, y'all. My bad. The live just froze. I'm going. Let me try to turn. Hold on. My live just froze, y'all. Let me try to turn back on my goddamn what you call it. Oh, also, I'm doing this live on YouTube, y'all. Y'all can go on my story and click the link if you want to watch it straight from YouTube. I forgot to pin that shit when I posted it. All right, so yeah, if y'all want to head over there, I'm about to turn my Wi-Fi back on. Okay, bet. Okay. So once the water is taken from the okay, that's what I was about to say. If you ever drank water out of a plastic styrofoam cup and it tasted like the container, it was it tasted like the container it was in. This is due to water sticky property. So you leave water in a gallon, a plastic gallon, after you're gonna taste that plastic because water is a sticky substance, right? So what do you think's happening here? All right, boom. How is water transported? In order for water to reach us from its original location, it must flow through aqueducts. This is an aqueduct, right? So they take look all the way back there. They got that coming through miles. They got this pipe streaming from miles away. All right. Now look at this. This is the type of shit. This is the type of pipes. This is a picture of a city pipe. Look at this shit. This is what your water flowing through. Your water picking up all type of shit. I'm talking about all type of shit. Water. Don't ever if you don't get nothing else from this presentation, nigga, do not drink no water. Like, and this is a good example of what arteriosclerosis looks like. This is what clogged arteries look like. So when your arteries get clogged, I'm gonna just I'm gonna just take off my Wi-Fi. Let me know in the comments, y'all, if it get glitchy. But when your arteries get clogged, this is what it look like. And blood is trying to flow through this little asshole, and your blood vessels end up rupturing. But that's a whole nother presentation. But what's in the water? What's flowing through the water? Okay. So one particular study measured water samples from a network of 139 streams across 30 states. Now, mind you, your water is running through a bunch of pipes before it get to you. One particular study measured water samples from a network of 139 streams across 30 states. The occurrence of pharmaceuticals in water, in addition to hormones and other organic waste matter contaminants, were found in 80% of stream sampled, stemming from disposal from residential, industrial, and agricultural sources. Among the mix of detected pharmaceutical pollution in this instance were antidepressants, antibiotics, blood thinners, and heart medications. That's a lot of fucking shit to just be in the water network, right? All right. And hold on. Okay, and this is coming from the WHO, the World Health Organization, and the World Health Organization is an agency of the United States of the United Nations responsible for international public health. These are the people that's responsible for international public health. This is what they saying. And the United Nations is basically just a group of allies of the United States. Okay, so the World Health Organization also identifies both human and veterinary drugs and feed additives as contaminating water through excretion, disposal, waste, and the soil before eventually coming into contact with the drinking water sources. In its report on the topic, WHO points out that drinking water treatment processes are not designed specifically to remove pharmaceuticals in water. Although there are practices that may, some are more effective than others. So you mean to tell me that our water treatment facilities are not even designed to remove half of the shit that's being excreted into the water, right? So, like, what y'all got to understand is yes, the water is being cleaned once it gets to us, but the memory that the water is holding still has all of that negative ass frequency in it. All right. So, we talking about antidepressants, all type of shit. You know what I'm saying? All right. According to a 2020 study by the Department of Comparative Biosciences, University of Illinois at Urban-Champaign, the cattle industry largely contribute to pharmaceuticals and water due to the growth of oh, hold on, my bad. I missed something. I missed something. Okay, so here's some questions I had about this. How many of us are actually getting sick from drinking tap water and don't even know it? Thinking it's from someone we encounter or something we touched. How many of us are getting sick just drinking tap water? Cooking with it, drinking it, bathing in it. All right. And tap water, I mean, most people gonna bathe in tap water because the process of getting good actual water, for some people is too expensive. You got to get an ionizer, you got to get a distiller, hook it up to the side of your house. It's a lot of shit to do. All right. But it is possible. So I'm letting y'all know it is possible. For tap water, that's okay. We gonna get a shower or pass, whatever. But drinking and cooking that shit, you don't have no excuse for that. Go get you some distilled gallons of water. They 99 cents. Grab 10 of them, sit them in the house. Use that to cook with. All right. How many of us are getting high off drugs that are flowing through our tap water? All right. Now, Flint not having any water at this point sound like a win to me, because we shouldn't be drinking no fucking tap water anyway. And that's a joke, but it's just the point. Like, y'all are winning by not having tap water. Like, that should not be okay. That shouldn't be okay. All right. All right. Did I pass it? Did I go? I went back. I went back. Did I pass this one? Okay, I'm gonna read this one. Health risks associated with human exposure to pharmaceuticals and water. According to a 2020 study by the Department of Comparative Biosciences, University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign, the cattle industry largely contributes to pharmaceuticals and water due to the growth regulating steroids and hormones injected to enhance cattle growth rates. Sewage plants and human excretion have also been named sources for polluting water. The study identifies hormones such as estrogen, have been linked to an increase in breast cancer in women, infertility men, and other adverse effects to a person's reproductive system. This is our World Health Organization that noticed, college that noticed. Why aren't y'all fixing this? This just goes to show you if you don't believe it by now, I'm sorry I can't help you. But this just go to show you that there is a fucking agenda, y'all. There's an agenda on our people. Y'all need to wake the fuck up. Get off that social media bullshit that y'all be on watching these celebrities. That shit is a fucking distraction from the shit that I'm telling you right now. Understand that. Know that shit for a fact. All right. They know what's going on. All right. This whole thing though could be reduced drastically by going plant based. Cattle play a big part in environmental issues. All right. I'll see y'all in the live chat on the gram. Okay, bet. Presence of endocrine disrupting chemicals. All right, that's what EDC stands for. All right. One of the main health risks linked to pharmaceuticals found in water from from the tap is reproductive impairment due to specifically endocrine disrupting chemicals, which impact the endocrine system, and your endocrine system is your hormone system, and impairs fertility and development in humans. They also cause neurological and behavioral changes and have been linked to obesity and type 2 diabetes, according to the Hormone Health Network. So listen, if we not gonna do it for ourselves, at least do it for the babies. You feel me? Don't get a babies none of this. Don't be drinking this water if you pregnant. You know what I'm saying? Ladies, be careful. And especially our women, because most women are responsible for what goes into the bodies in our house. The women are the nurturers. This is why cooking as a skill should be valued and appreciated more because our women are healers. The medicine is the food that we eat. The medicine is the water that we consume. So understand, ladies, and or the man of the house, if you cook throughout the house, y'all are responsible for the mental processes that goes on in our head by the foods that y'all cook, the water that y'all use, the type of foods that y'all using, whether it's organic or not. That is a skill, and we need to value that skill more. So to all the ladies, all the women out here that actually cook for their family, that actually take the time to prepare home cooked meals, please never stop that because y'all are the reason why we are a fucking live. Like if we didn't have y'all, we would not be shit. And I'm gonna keep it a buck. All right. So boom. Presence of an presence of endocrine disrupting chemicals too. EDCs stem from pharmaceutical residues, but are also found in many common household products such as cosmetics, lotions, and antibacterial soaps. They are also found in pesticides, herbicides, and plastic packaging. If you don't know what pesticides are chemical sprays that they spray on plants that that stop pests from attacking the plants, and herbicides are chemicals that they put inside the plants that kill the plant that they genetically modify the plant to have the pesticide in it so that when a pest bites onto the plant, it dies immediately. All right. So let me read that one more time. EDCs, endocrine disrupting chemicals, stem from pharmaceutical residues, but are also found in many common household products. So the stuff that we flushing down our drains, the bleach and shit, that's getting back into our water and it's not being fully dispensed, such as cosmetics, makeup, lotions, and antibacterial soaps. They're also found in pesticides, herbicides, and plastic packaging. The University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign study identified that pesticides can be transported in water long distances from their sources and impact human health. So, y'all, here's a couple ways that we can improve. Here's a couple ways we can contribute from this happening is by one, looking for plant based cleaners. All right. Looking for products without a lot of dyes. Looking for black soap, soap that is made from organic things that you can damn near eat. You can't eat black soap, but you can eat coconut oil, which is something that you can put on your skin. Almost everything that you put on your skin is an organ. You should be able to eat and consume. All right. Try to find soaps and stuff that don't have dyes and all these chemicals in it. Look for your local reach out to your local herbalist. If you in Detroit, tap in with more herbs, MOOR herbs. They dope. They got a bunch of stuff in there and they gonna get you together. And if you don't have one, check out Instagram, look it up, Google it, tap in, DM with me. I'm gonna get you together. All right. Um, Okay, so another alternative is using filters. So here's a way that we can filter out the tap water. I like to bring solutions. I don't like to just give y'all a bunch of information and then we don't know what to do with it. All right, so this is what we can do to prevent this type of stuff so that you're not thinking, and this is another thing that I want to say, y'all. I know this is a lot of information y'all might be consuming, especially if you're not used to consuming a lot of information like this at once. But just relax. You good. This is some shit that we've been going through. This is some shit you've been experiencing. You're just becoming aware of it now. So don't feel like your body is about to shut down or some crazy shit. You just coming into a scenario to where now you understand this information. You have the opportunity to prevent these type of things from happening. You have the opportunity to spread this information, let other people know, so that more people stop doing this bullshit. So that companies stop putting out this bullshit because they're not making no money and they have to put out the products that we want. All right. So this shit is in our power. This shit is in our hands. Right. The change is within ourselves. It's within each individual. It's not about looking at the whole world and trying to solve the whole world. No, you got to save yourself. If you start saving yourself, you become an example for others. Lead by example. Other people will follow alike. All right. So don't start with the world, start with yourself. You start making those changes. You start making those differences. Other people will start making those differences. In the same way that the person that the people that relay this information that I got it from, I'm relaying it to y'all, and y'all gonna relay it to somebody else, and we keep that circle flowing. You feel me? So don't get overwhelmed by the information, y'all. Be happy and be enlightened that you're receiving this information and that we finding solutions to get away from the bullshit. But what I do want to say is that this is why it's so important for us as a community because we can't all do it by ourselves. It's not hard when you switching over from a vegan or a plant-based lifestyle, from a meat eating lifestyle to a vegan lifestyle when there's a McDonald's on every corner and a Burger King on every corner. It's hard to stop drinking pop when you walk into the gas station and there's pop everywhere. We have to be a collective to where that's not even an issue no more because us as a collective don't even eat that type of shit. So there isn't no McDonald's on the corner. It's only plant based. So we have to create an environment that's fundamental for our growth, right? If you put a shark or if you put an orca whale into SeaWorld, the orca whale's dorsal fin becomes limp. Why? Because it's in an environment that it wasn't created for. But when it's out in the ocean, that dorsal fin becomes erect again because it is in this environment. So your environment is directly contributes to your great potential. The your highest capacity that you can reach is expressed partially by your environment. All right. So us as people, us as a community, once we get on lock with this environment, which has happened because our people is waking up. So you know what I'm saying? We the pioneers of this new generation. We the pioneers of, you know, waking up. You know what I'm saying? The younger ones, they starting to get it a little bit more, even though, they still got the electronic age and shit like that. They still getting it though. You feel me? So we coming up. All right. So we got the shower filter. So here's a way that if you when you get in the shower, you could try out this filter. It removes chlorine, lead, pesticides, mercury, and a bunch of other chemicals. Check it out. It's called Aquasana. I haven't got the product myself yet, but I plan on getting it. And so I can't tell you exactly how it works, but um there are alternatives out here to stop water. Now I would suggest using the filter faucet, but um I don't suggest using any water from your sink from your tap, from your kitchen sink because you shouldn't be cooking with that water regardless. Go get you some distilled water. And only reason I suggested the shower filter, the reason I suggested the shower filter is because we have to shower in this type of water. All right. The reason the shower filter is so important is because your body is an organ that absorbs all of these chemicals. Okay. Cold water is also another way. Um, to stop absorbing these chemicals through the water because cold water closes your pores. So when you get cold, when you have cold water on you, you start getting goosebumps, your pores start closing, so you're not as absorbing as much. The hot water actually intensifies it, opens up your pores, and allows you to absorb a lot more. Um, and they also have household purifiers that run throughout your house that will purify your entire system. So if you still do want to use your household water at some point, you can use they have big reverse osmosis, all type of contraptions for that shit. Okay, so presence of endocrine disrupting chemicals part 3. 40% reduced sperm count in men who have been exposed to herbicides used in neighboring facilities, specifically atrazine and alkalor. Another reference in the study showed a link between metal I don't know how the fuck to pronounce that. Metal lacquer, which is a herbicide, con- contamination in drinking water and in uh, intrauterine growth retardation. Exposure to EDCs have cumulative effects, cumulative effects on the body, which means that even if there aren't large amounts found in tap water at a given time, consuming contaminated water over the years can still pose harmful health risks. All right. And an intrauterine growth retardation is a condition in which a baby doesn't grow to normal weight during pregnancy. And how often does that happen? A lot. Okay, boom. Hold on. Okay, so now remember y'all, we was going through how water is transported. All right, and I took to y'all what's in the water. All right, so now we back to how the water is being transported. Let me go back one slide real quick so we don't get lost. Let me go back real quick. Okay, boom. The water is carried by the ship here. The water goes through the aqueducts and it travels through the water. Okay, boom. We on stage 4. So now once it gets to the facility, it goes through a process. Once it gets to the water treatment facility, it goes through a process called reverse osmosis. And before they do reverse osmosis, they take it through these filtration processes. They filter it through sand and yada yada yada, do the whole bullshit. Next is the reverse osmosis process. In simple terms, this is the process of removing unwanted substances from the water. But during this process, not only does it remove contaminants, it removes all the natural minerals and things that were in the water when it was originally in the spring. So yeah, they removing all of the water. They removing all of the contaminants out of the water, but they're also removing all of the natural alkalining properties in the water at the same time, right? And now after that, they after the process of reverse osmosis, synthetic, isolated slash unnatural minerals are added back into the water, which are typically derived from industrial processes. So, what do I mean by synthetic minerals? So, you got natural minerals that come from the earth and out in nature, right? But then you have synthetic minerals that are isolated. And what do I mean by isolated? So, for example, they take petroleum jelly. The way they take petroleum jelly, the way they make petroleum jelly is by taking this oil, right? They take this dirty ass oil that they've been working with all day that's been in plants and shit like this, right? And they distill it and they create this sticky substance out of it, right? They isolated this gel from this. That's and they take this is the way that they this is how they get synthetic minerals. So when you see added minerals in your in your water, they're not natural minerals, they're synthetic minerals. So they put a picture of a ocean or some spring or some mountain on your water bottle, making you thinking that it came from the spring, which it probably did, or which it probably didn't. But if it did, once it gets to the treatment plant, it's being reverse osmosis. So all the natural minerals in it is being taken out and then they replenishing it with synthetic minerals. So it's like, why y'all playing with me? You know what I'm saying? This ain't no real water. All right. All right. And you might think they take things like crude oil, filter it through bone. They take things like crude oil, filter it through bone char, which is broken up animal bones, and package it in little pretty containers and promote it as healing jelly. Look at that shit. Healing jelly. And which it does have some beneficial healing properties, I guess, but there's way more alternatives. We got shea butter, we got all type of shit we could use. Okay. And the reason that they doing this, you might think, well, maybe they're doing it for health purposes. No, this was purely a way for them to profit off their waste products. So when they trying to capitalize on how they can make money, they start doing shit like this. They start taking oil and making other products out of it because they're like, all right, how can we use this as a way to? They're not thinking about your health, bro. They're not thinking about your health. All right, we got plenty of alternative creams such as coconut oil, shea butter, and cocoa butter. So if you use Vaseline, I just gave you three alternatives you can use. I specifically use coconut oil. That's just my preference. I like shea butter too, but shea butter get on my clothes and whatnot, so I don't use that as much. I use that more in the summer. And then so whole versus isolated, what does that mean? All right. Isolated minerals do not get absorbed in the same way that whole supplement minerals do from naturally derived substances. So when you take stuff like vitamin C pills or all of these supplement pills and they're not naturally derived, meaning they're not plants that's broken down into and dehydrated so that they're like dust, it's not a real it's your body is not able to process minerals like that. That's it's basically a drug to your body. Your body has to break things down in a certain structure. It's like hitting your body with too much alcohol. It's like sending alcohol through your IV. You know what I'm saying? In the hospital, like that shit's gonna flow through your blood way too fucking quick. Like it has to be broken down in a way. The alcohol has to digest through your blood, through your stomach and get processed, or otherwise it's gonna hit like a shock. It's the same thing with these minerals. When you isolate a mineral, same thing with sugar. They do this with sugar. It takes sugar canes and it take like 30 sugar canes just to make 1 teaspoon of sugar, right? Your body and normally it would take a while for you to eat 30 sugar canes, but being that they isolated it, now you can eat it in a spoonful and your body is not able to absorb it like that. So after the process of reverse osmosis, they add back in isolated minerals, right? So you got at the top the source of the water, which is at the very top, right? It goes through the water treatment, boom, it's distributed through the water pipes, and the whole time it's getting banged up and beat up through the water pipes. Your water is being emotionally traumatized going through this process, and I'm dead ass serious when I say that. It goes through your water, boom, it goes through the drain, goes back through these dirty ass pipes again, goes back into the same another water treatment facility, probably right next to the other one, goes back out into the ocean, and I'm pretty sure it's another water treatment bringing that water right back in and cleaning it. So it's really not even probably getting that far out away into the ocean. You know what I'm saying? We're not even really drawing in back in new water. What up, Benevolent Blizz? That's my brother. Make sure y'all go tap in with him, fam. And he gonna drop some game on y'all too. Okay, bet. All right, so now we on to the next. Hold on, I think I had something else. Okay, boom. Okay, boom. We finished with the water, how water is transported. Okay, now we about to enter water geometry. Now this is the next interesting part of the presentation. We almost done, y'all. Okay. All right. So by now we should know that there's a such thing as living water and dead water. All right. Okay. This experiment was done by Masaru Emoto. He's I believe Japanese, right? So they did a water experiment. And they took samples of water and they take a froze. Excuse me. They took samples of water. Samples of water are taken and froze for 3 hours. Right. They are then examined microscopically at -5 degrees centigrade. As the temperature starts to get warmer, the frozen water starts to show its hexagonal crystals. Right. So this is what, on a molecular level, y'all, what tap water looks like. This is what tap water looks like. This is what water from a natural spring looks like. So everything that I was just telling y'all, I can show y'all visually. You can see that the water is being subjected to some bullshit. This looks like a traumatized snowflake. This looks like a snowflake that lived a good life. You feel me? This is living spring water. Look at that structure. Now you tell me which water you want in your body. This water or this water right here. I'm gonna go with this water. I'm pretty sure y'all is too. All right. Boom. All right. So here's some sample of water from natural springs in nature. All right. Look at this, y'all. This is water from Lake Brazil. Lake in Brazil. Somebody said you can restructure your water with magnets. I'm gonna have to check that out. DM me some information on that, Mel. Somebody said, where can I find this video? The link is in my YouTube. Also, y'all, I'm streaming this. I won't be posting this after I won't be posting this on my page after. So if you do want to rewatch the stream from the beginning, go to my website, legacytowave.net. The link is in my bio. Subscribe. I'm about to put this discount code in there. Use that as the discount code RTG1 and you will get a free month subscription on my website. But this is only going to be on my website and it's exclusive to people that's on my website. Any good posts on fasting? I will make some posts on fasting. DM me y'all ideas. If y'all have any questions, y'all, I haven't been able to really look at the live comments. So DM me any questions that you asked that you don't think I might have seen. But I'm about to get back to this. But if you want to see this from the very beginning, check on my subscribe to my Legacy to Wave, and that's where I have other presentations like this too for y'all that are new and y'all don't know that I post longer form content on my website. I don't post shit like this on the internet. I'm not trying to have my YouTubes or my Instagram banned. So I'm doing a live stream so that y'all can at least catch it for those that are in the moment that are lucky enough to see it. If not, you gotta tap in with me on my website. Also support me there anyway because these platforms don't want to pay me for the knowledge that I'm bringing. They don't want to pay me for building their platform. So support me on my own platform, y'all. All right, bet we back at it. Okay, boom. All right, so this is a snowflake, or this is what water looks like on a molecular level, on a crystal level in the Lake Brazil, right? This is Japan. So this is what I was talking about when I said I wonder if certain water has the ability to activate certain DNA in your body because they all form certain types of crystals and certain structures. So they all vibrate at a different level. So I'm pretty sure um, we know that certain shapes resonate with certain energies and whatnot. So I'm wondering if you know what's the best water to drink on the planet. All right, so this is what's fucking scary though. This is what water looks like next to a microwave. Shit, that is fucking crazy. That is crazy. This is what water looks like next to a computer. All right, y'all. And this is what, like I was saying earlier, as a community, we have to evolve because we constantly surrounded by this stuff and our lives revolve around this technology, y'all. This is why certain crystals are important because we can actually use certain crystals to push off this electromagnetic frequency. So I'm gonna make some videos on that showing y'all what type of crystals y'all can have. I actually got a crystal over here. Let me show y'all right quick. This is I cannot think of the name of this crystal off the top of my head, but I keep this crystal around me when I'm on my studio desk. It's a big ass cube and it helps reflect and push off electromagnetic frequency. So I keep this around. I'm about to grab a bunch more of these and I'm really about to set these up around my house and it's really some science behind this shit as far as how these work, the positions that they're in, how they affect with water and all type of stuff, but these cues really help with the frequency and I can show you videos where they do tests and measure. They put the block in front of the frequency. They have like a little scanner and the frequency is being pushed off and when they put the block in front, the signal stops because it's blocking it. All right, so that's what water looks like under your next to your computer. All right. This is what water looks like next to your TV set. That TV a motherfucker. Not gonna lie. Yeah, I think it's black tourmaline. Okay. This is what water looks like next to a cell phone. Look like ass. All right. This is what water looks like next to hard rock. Mm, that's crazy. Now remember, your body is 99% water. Remember that. So a lot of y'all niggas listening to music that look like this. Fuck the hard rock. Y'all niggas listening to shit that looks like this in the microwave. That's that microwave music y'all listening to. I need to stop it. I need to go tap in with double R, get your mind right real quick. You feel me? Because niggas is playing microwave music for years. All right. All right. An experiment was done where they took a piece of paper, y'all. Listen to this. They took a piece of paper, placed it in water, and the water was able to absorb the frequency of the words off of the paper. Water is a bad motherfucker. They put a piece of paper inside the water, right? This is the paper inside the water. This is thank you in Japanese, right? Boom. Look at the water structure. That means not only is it absorbing, uh, is it memorizing, but it's picking up the intention of our words. Your water is able to detect the intention of your words, and y'all don't think y'all understand how deep it is because your what you saying to people on a day-to-day basis. This is why they say words are powerful, y'all. Words recreate your reality. They recreate your biology. When you speak these vibrations into the world, when you call somebody a hoe or a bitch ass nigga, your intention is reflected behind that. Now, I don't believe that, for example, like sometimes females will call each other bitches and they don't mean it in a negative way. I don't think that it doesn't pick up the actual word itself. It picks up the intention behind the word, right? Because I could say, nigga, what? Or I could say, nigga, what? You know what I'm saying? It's two different intentions, but it's the intention that it picks up. So this is what I've come to the conclusion of. Okay, we got thank you in Chinese. This is what thank you in Chinese looks like, or Japanese looks like. This is what thank you in Chinese looks like, right? So so that lets me know because what if I think in Chinese Gonichiwa is hello. I think that's how you say hello in Chinese. But what if Gonichiwa was you a bitch in English? You know what I'm saying? It's still like it still would be okay. How am I trying to explain this? Basically, what I'm trying to say is the water is picking up the intention, not the word. And this is a perfect example of this because here they're saying thank you in one language and they're saying thank you in another language and they're both picking it up. You feel me? So it's the water is able to go past that. It's the word itself is what changes the way that the shape of the crystal looks like. It's not changing it looking like this or like this. It's changing its patterns and its designs. So what does that tell us? We know that shapes resonate with certain energies. We know that shapes mean certain things. So, which language is the best language to create the best structural water in our bodies, right? And we already know English is the worst. Clearly, it's the worst. But we still are creating crystals with our words using English words. But I bet you they're not as complex as these other languages. I will say that. So this means that that intention has measurable frequency, just as the thought itself. The style of writing also creates a different shape because remember they put the water. So not only is the water gaining the intention, it's picking up the intention of the person that's writing it. Bro, this shit is this shit is crazy, y'all. This shit is crazy. It's literally picking up the style of writing too. And that's having to do with the shape of the crystal. All right. Here's love and thanks. This is what love and thanks looks like in Chinese. Okay, boom. So we out of the water geometry. All right, y'all. We at the last slide. Now we talking about alkaline versus acidic. Everybody talking about alkaline water. Everybody talking about which water they should drink, which water they shouldn't drink. So I'm about to put y'all on game because they are trying to infiltrate because they know that we are becoming more awakened, woke to what they doing and the bullshit that they own. So they try to capitalize off little words that they see popping up a lot, like alkaline. All right. So I'm gonna tell y'all what alkaline is. Okay, what does it mean for your water to be alkaline? Water has substances such as salts, metals, and minerals that raise the pH, which is the potential hydrogen of the water. The more hydrogen, the lower the pH. Less hydrogen means higher pH. Excuse me. The more hydrogen, the lower the pH. Less hydrogen means higher pH. 0 to 7 is acidic. 7.1 to 14 is alkaline. Now, remember when I was talking about the hydrogen molecules, how they only have one proton, they only have one electron, and that when they flowing through your body, they'll easily grab onto other things, break off stuff, and they create issues in your body. The lower the pH, the more potential hydrogen is in your body, right? So your pH has to do with the amount of hydrogen that's on your water. You don't want a bunch of hydrogen in your water. You want the least amount of hydrogen that you can have. So you want to look for water that's in the range between 7 to 12 pH. All right. And what's happening is the minerals from nature are changing the molecular structure of the water to make it more balanced for you. That's the point of alkaline water, so that your body is able to absorb nutrients better. Okay, so here's some popular drinking water. So I just wanted to kind of give y'all an example so y'all can see how much acidic ass water is out on the market right now. So we got Gatorade at the bottom of the, well, I ain't gonna say Gatorade. We're gonna say sports drinks. We got sports drinks at the bottom of the list. 4 pH. That shit is acidic as fuck. All right. We got, what's this? Penta. We don't got that where I'm from. Penta, Deer Park, Dasani. We've been out since I was a kid. I never liked Dasani water. If you got this water, then you know this is the trashiest water on the planet. All right. And now we all know why. Aquafina right next to it. That bitch is nasty. Um, Garbage. Crystal Geyser, garbage. Smart water, garbage. Tap water, garbage. Look, these bottled waters is worse than tap water. That's terrible. Core water, garbage. This water, garbage. Eternal might be straight. I think somebody put me hip to the Eternal water. I think that was my man's Tones. Shout out my boy Tone. Um, I think he put me hip to the Eternal water. Eternal water might actually be straight. My only issue is, did it actually come from a spring? And then we have Avion water and we have Fiji water, right? These are the only two waters on this chart that I would suggest that you drink. And I wouldn't even suggest Fiji water, simply because the amount of shit that people are being subjected to for them to get this water, they're basically I heard that they're taking over the island that they're getting this water from and fucking over the people that's there. So let's stop um promoting this bitch ass water, because they're killing our people to get it. All right. So Avion water is probably the only water on this list that I would tell you to drink, because one, both of these waters come from a natural spring, and they're sourced and bottled at that spring. So they don't go through some crazy ass filtration system. Water, nature actually naturally can purify and clean the water itself, going through the right type of systems. There's underground, I think it's called the natural aquifer that filtrates and does all of that. The only thing that they might have to do is put like UV light over it to eliminate all of the bacteria and shit. But this water is bottled from the source, so this is actual spring water. It hasn't had no contaminants, hasn't went through no pipes, hasn't done none of that shit. So this is natural spring water. All these other waters, the reason I don't suggest them is because I've never had them. Other than Essentia. Essentia is one of those waters that I'm gonna go over that later, but it's artificially alkaline. It's not actually not alkaline. This is tap water, and they made it alkaline using a process called ionization, which I'm gonna go into later. And this real water, never had that. That looked like it might be legit water. I'm not gonna lie, that looks trash. Anything that promotes like alkaline on the front is probably just tap water. Um, this Icelandic, now that shit came from somewhere. These other, I wouldn't go for it. And then there's one other water. This shit over here, this 10, that looks like some garbage. I don't know, but just based off the looks of it and off of the other bottles that be acidic, I'm probably going to say that that's some acidic water too. Um, because I don't think that most natural springs are this are this alkaline. And there's one more, which is Wakia water. That's a water that I recommend to drink. It's actually really good. That's probably like my favorite store bought water. Okay, other than that, I would suggest you drinking distilled water. I would suggest, but I would say distilled over a water that has added minerals into it, because you can Distilled water is reverse osmosis without the added mineral part in it. So they just taking out all of the bad stuff. So it's just regular water. You can add your own minerals in it. You can reionize your water by putting in fruits, putting lemon juice and stuff in your water. So that's a way you can add your minerals back into your water. So if you're not going to drink bottled water, um, or whatever, then drink distilled water. But just be careful of the container that you get it in because sometimes the containers will um will leach into the water. All right. So, but above all of that, I'm gonna get to y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all what the best water is at the end. We're gonna say that for last. Okay, boom. So certain water companies are using what you call an ionizer to create artificial water, artificial alkaline water. Understand the reason alkaline water is good for you is because the natural minerals in the water from nature, like calcium, magnesium, sodium, and potassium, are good for the body. And when they mix with water, it changes the charge, making it alkaline. Now, companies are using machines called ionizers, running tap water over electrical plates, splitting the positive and negative molecules, causing the exchange of ions. A ion is a particle like an atom that has lost or gained an electron, thus raising the pH. So basically, in simple terms, what this means is they're taking tap water, they're running it over a plate that is electrically charged, and they're splitting those uh electrical the protons or the ions that are negatively charged from the ions that are positively charged, and it's splitting for a second, and then it's coming back and rearranging in a different way. And they're doing this to metals that, like, for example, if we put baking soda in water, it's going to raise the alkalinity of the water. But that doesn't mean that baking soda is good for you. So your water being alkaline doesn't necessarily mean that it's good for you. It just means that it's alkaline. So what happens is now tap water. Hold on, my fault. My phone froze. Okay, now tap water has other metals in it that are not healthy that can raise the pH balance. For example, you can put baking soda into water and that will raise the pH balance, but that doesn't make it healthy for you. So it's very important to understand that the way your food and water are processed and the root of origin are very important variables when it comes to your health. Artificial alkaline water can trick the body into thinking it is absorbing useful alkaline minerals, causing it to deplete reserve minerals, creating dehydration. All right. So, one question you should be asking when you get ready to drink something, especially water, is where did it come from? Like, treat your water like a drink at the club. Like, where did this drink come from? How was it made? Who made it? What went into it? I need to know the whole nine. I need to be directly sourcing this drink myself. So you need to be asking, where did your water come from? What minerals are being put into it? All of that. All right. So if you're drinking essential water, which I was drinking for a minute, and which a lot of us have experienced this phenomena, and Bill goes through this a lot or used to go through this a lot, where we drink water and we feel like, damn, I'm not being hydrated. Like I have to keep drinking water. Like I need a juice or something else because I'm not being hydrated. That's because it's not the water that's hydrating you itself. Like I said, the H2O has to be converted. It's the minerals in the water that are hydrating your body. Your body is being hydrated by the minerals in it. So if your water don't have no minerals in it, you are not hydrating your body. It is the minerals from the body that's building your body back up to give it the tools it needs to do biological functions. Okay, so water like this shit right here, this shit right here, this shit is garbage. This is straight garbage. I'm not garbage, garbage. I hated this water. I remember the first time I ever tried this water, it tasted like it was a film of plastic over the water. Like it just tasted like straight up chemicals. And I knew something was wrong with it because I'm like, bro, this water kind of cheap for it to be H2O. I mean, for it to be alkaline water. But you know what? I'm gonna give it a try. But man, this shit is garbage. That shit is garbage. And since it actually tastes pretty good, that's the bad part about it. But that shit is garbage. Shit is garbage. Next time you see a nigga with see a nigga with that water, tell him that water's garbage. It's garbage. It's garbage. All right, benefits of alkaline water. All right, helps with detoxifying the body, acid reflux, bone health, antioxidants, benefits, antioxidant benefits, cancer, and health and heart health. Alkaline water also helps stabilize free radicals, which is the hydrogen we was talking about, which are loose molecules floating throughout the body causing damage. That's what a free radical is. It's a loose molecule floating throughout the body causing damage. It's a loose molecule floating throughout the body causing damage. I repeated that because I know you're gonna see free radicals somewhere and you're gonna remember me saying it. All right. So H302 can be found in some earth sources, but the best way to obtain it is through your fruits and vegetables. Yes, the best water to drink is from your fruit. Like, listen, y'all, nature made everything so easy for us. I'm teaching all of this stuff because nature has been destroyed. So we got to get back in balance with nature. But when you in tune with nature, you don't have to understand anything, but I just need to be in tune with nature. I just need to eat the fruits that nature gives me, and I don't have to question anything. I don't have to question how much this of this salt it has in it. I don't have to question if there's nutrients in it. If it came from nature and the soil is good, you don't got to worry about nothing. If you out in the sun, you don't got to worry about getting sick. If you eating fruits and vegetables, you don't got to worry about the type of water that you drinking. You know what I'm saying? Because you getting your water via fruit. All right. H302 can be found in some earth sources, but the best way to obtain it is through your fruit and vegetables. Yes, fruit and vegetables are made of H302. Let this be the way you intake 90% of your water. I honestly will only recommend hydrating yourself by way of fruit because they are structured, alkaline, and carry the minerals needed by the body as opposed to processed dead H2O water. So this is really the only way outside of a natural spring that you can get fresh H302 water that's alkaline, that has the minerals in it that you need, is organic fruit. Now, everybody can't afford organic fruit, but still get fruit. Just get some type of fruit. That is better than tap water, is better than all these mineral bottled waters, is less expensive. Drink fruit. They got coconut water. Coconut water is kind of expensive, but go grab you a juicer and get to juicing. That is what you got to do. From this point on, if you want to really take this knowledge and apply it all in the most simplest way without having to remember everything that I said, if you can remember one thing is to go buy a motherfucking juicer, go do that. Go buy a juicer, juice every day. The only time that you should really be drinking water, and I know that for everybody's not going to be able to switch directly over from drinking water, uh, from drinking regular spring water to drinking fruit juice all day long. That is it's definitely a learning curve, and it's something that you gotta definitely get used to. When I first switched over to just drinking fruit juice, and I still drink water every now and then, but the only time that I really drink water is when we ain't juiced. If there's juice in the refrigerator, I'm drinking juice, or if I just really got the taste for some water and I don't want to drink juice, I'll drink some of my distilled water. But outside of that, I'm drinking juice all the time. First thing in the morning when I'm at the gym. Not only is it hydrating you, it's a meal. All right. So go get y'all a juicer, y'all. Go get y'all a juicer. That is the biggest thing that I can tell y'all. And that is going to help with 90% of the shit that we talked about in this. All right. And y'all, that is basically the end of my presentation. That is everything. I appreciate y'all staying tuned. Man, we had a good live session. We had a good live session. It's a lot of information dropped in here. Um, this video, after I upload it, is going to be reposted onto my website. So if you only got to catch a snippet of this and you want to see the full thing, make sure y'all tap in on my website. I got other presentations long like this where I go into depth on certain subjects. I got one like this on melanin. I got one like this on words are actually spells. And I got another one called Words Are Actually Spells presentation part 2. Y'all, I worked hard on this presentation. I'm glad that I got through it and it went I got everything done. I literally was working on this presentation up until today, right before I presented it. So this is one of the best presentations that I've done. I feel like it's been one of the most informational presentations that I've done. Um our body is made out of 99% water, so I don't see what can get more important than that. You know what I'm saying? So share this video with somebody. I'm probably gonna leave this live up till the morning. You know what I'm saying? Just so a couple more people can try to catch on to it before it's on my website. But after that, it's a wrap, y'all. Y'all gotta tap in with me, support me on my website. That is much needed. I can't stress that enough. Um, but yeah, y'all, I appreciate it. Let me see. Let me check out some of these com- comments. He said GMO, a whole different topic. You ain't lying. Keep spreading this knowledge. The world needs this. I appreciate that. Love y'all family. Stay up. Love. Uh because no facts. All of our fruit and foods have been genetically modified to some extent. Even the fruit and the vegetables have been. You look at fruit from years ago and certain agricultural practices, they can um get the fruit to look different. They don't have to necessarily genetically modify. They can just change certain environmental factors and stuff like that. But the thing, even outside of that though, they're still killing cancer cells with vegan blood. They still killing cancer cells off plant-based diets. People are reversing diseases and stuff off plant-based diets. So the even though they have been modified to some extent, they're still working and still useful. Somebody said Vita Coconut Valley. I'm not sure what that is. A glass of water refreshing in the morning. Best feeling ever. Yeah, y'all go grab y'all juicer. That is the number one thing that I'm telling y'all. Y'all got to go get y'all. Me personally, I drink. Let me go back to the YouTube chat. I drink watermelon juice. That's like my favorite juice to drink. I drink watermelon juice. I mix it with cucumber. My boy Yaki, he put me hip to that. Cucumber is the most alkaline, one of the most alkaline fruits you can get, as well as mango and coconut. Um, so I mix the watermelon, I mix the lime with the coconut and shake it all up. You feel me? But I mix the watermelon with the cucumber. I might throw a little bit of lime in there. If I'm feeling limey. You know what I'm saying? So uh, what's some other fruit juices? Orange juice, fresh orange juice is crazy good. And it's all natural sugar, so you don't have to worry about diabetes or none of that. Like this is real sugar. Your body know how to process this type of sugar. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm gonna need my diploma now because you just made me a genius. Hey, facts. Hey, we turning up, y'all. Hey, my next presentation I'm doing on artificial intelligence. So I'm about to be doing an artificial intelligence this time for that. They are rinsing fruits and veggies with chemtrails as well, man. What they on the whole they just be on some straight bullshit. I'm going through these comments too right now. Let's see. What do you think about? What do I think about King filters? If the water is still coming through the municipal source, it's still being subjected to all of the mistreatment. You know what I'm saying? From going through the pipes to all of the whole situation. Still going through the whole municipal system. So that's why I say drink your water from fruit. Eventually you'll get used to it. Like at first I was mixing my fruit juice with water at first because it was I wasn't used to just drinking straight juice like that. And I was looking for that refreshing, just being able to down some water, and I wasn't able to do that. But after I got used to it, it's like it'd be hard for me to drink water on a normal basis. I'm always looking for fruit. I don't feel hydrated unless I got some actual fruit. Somebody says, so when the water is bottled in plastic, does it keep the same integrity as it came from the source, or does it change since it is stagnant? And I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you too, fam. I'm almost positive that it does alter it somewhat because it's being put in a plastic bottle. The type of plastic it's made out of definitely has a big role to play, whether it's BPA free or not, or BPA or BDA or all the other hidden names that they use. I can't remember. Benevolent Bliss put me here, but they'll hide BPA and use it as BDA or BFA, and so I'm pretty sure it's being subjected, but it's not nearly as bad. You know what I'm saying? Especially if the company is using um eco-friendly products. So that's how people. That's how they making people homosexual. Yep, putting the estrogen in the water. boom, boom, boom. Yeah, I'm just going through the comments. I'm scrolling back up to see what's going on. Water is source, which is another name for God. Facts. People are going viral for saying God is water because, and yo. Okay, yeah. Let me go back up to the top. Let me go back up to the top. What's the name of the Detroit herbalist? It's not a herbalist per se. It's a store. It's called Moore's Herbs. Boom. What's a good water filter to buy? It's called Aquasana. I'm about to type it in here. That's a good shower filter head. Like I said in my presentation, I would suggest using any type of water filter for your sink because, like your actual kitchen sink because it's you shouldn't be using that water anyway. So buy like distilled water or bottles, gallons of water. But yeah, y'all, most definitely, man, it's been lit. I've been on here for a couple hours. I've been working all day, so I'm about to take a minute, just chill. I appreciate y'all for being on the live. If you want to go watch some of my other stuff here, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna put in this discount code or promo code right here. About to drop it in right now. Boom, RTG1. All right, I'm putting in this promo code right here, y'all. It's art. The promo code is RTG1. Take that code, go to the link in my bio, and click legacytowave.net. Go to my website, sign up for a free month subscription of my website, y'all. Check it out. If you don't like it after a month, you don't got to worry about it, but you have access to all my presentations. I also put content on there that I don't post on here. All my movie breakdowns are on my website. So if you want to see me break down the Eternals movie, if you want to see me break down what other movie did I break down? I broke down, was it Black Panther? I think I'm gonna do Black Panther. Eternals. I did the Megan movie, Eternals, and I did another movie I can't remember, but I got some more coming. So I'm doing the Avatar breakdown next. I'm gonna do Avatar 1, and then I'm gonna do Avatar 2 next. But I got band content, um, exclusive content, all type of stuff. I got music lessons on there too, also. So make sure y'all go tap in with my website. Check out my clothing brand down here too, Legacy the Wave. That's my business. So if you want to support Double R with apparel, make sure you do that and grab a hoodie. after this, after this spring, I won't be selling no more of these black hoodies. These black hoodies eventually in the future I'm gonna use as an NFT. So if you have that black hoodie, you'll be able to go to certain events, you'll be able to pull up, do certain things, and you'll have access and exclusivity just by having that hoodie. All right. So make sure y'all grab that hoodie, tap in ASAP. I love y'all. Peace. I'm mixing home beet juice. Keep going live. We appreciate the presentation. Live watch the melanin presentation sample over to get clear understanding of what shampoo to use. This was amazing. I'm gonna hit you this week about that. What's the website? Let me see. LegacyTheWave.net. The link is in my Instagram bio, y'all. Love y'all. Peace. Clock in. We gonna tap in, gang.